And look, I mean, another fight that's out there, and again, I know your hands are not in this, but you do have so much experience with the people. I've just got to ask you about it. Spence Crawford is taking quite a while to get finalized. Any observations from that situation?
Well, same problem.
Yeah.
It's a big fight. It has tremendous interest from people who follow boxing, but that doesn't necessarily translate into revenue from pay-per-view, which is the biggest source because of the piracy. And the fighters realize how big a fight it is, and they want to get paid big amounts of money. And the promoter, in this case, PBC, has to look at it and say, hey, we'll put it on, we'll give you nice guarantees, but you've got to really live from the upside, which the fighters realize now will probably not develop.
Wow.
So again, unless somebody wants to subsidize that fight, I don't know how it gets done.
Wow. That's a darn shame, Bob. I mean, that's really a changing dynamic of the sport. And I know this is something that's been happening over the course of the last 2-3 years, especially. But this issue of piracy is something that I think everyone involved in the sport is really going to need to get their arms around and figure out a solution. Or, some of these fights.
One solution might be, and if you pay big guarantees to the fighters, you can't crap around with experiments. But you look at our friends in the UK who still do very robust numbers on pay-per-view, and you say, why? Is it because the English fans are so honest that they won't tap into a stream? Or is it because it's a much smaller cost to get the pay-per-view in the UK, 20 pounds or 25 pounds for a really big fight, and people then don't bother to steal the signal. They are willing to pay the freight. But if you start, as we do here, you have $80 pay-per-views, that's a whole different exercise.
Yes, it is, for sure. Great points. I wonder if that could materialize.
Well, the problem is that it's a theory. If we drop the cost of the pay-per-view down to $20 or $25, which is what we started with on pay-per-view, would people then forego pirating the signal and pay that money to watch the fight legitimately? And how do you then experiment? Because if you're wrong, you just for example, if you figured at the high price to get 250,000 buys at $80, and now you go to $25 on a big fight, who's to say you don't stay at 250,000? My inclination is that you'd reduce the piracy in that way. But again, to put up hard-earned money on the hope, that's not a good business decision.
Yeah. Well, good luck solving this, Bob. I know it's going to be a tough one. Again, because you're absolutely right. This younger millennial generation clearly knows how to do it. I mean, we see it all the time.